Hello, I'm Object. Oh god. Hello. What happened? Hello, I'm Object, and this is Seed Sunday, the weekly series I run at my channel where I show you seeds for Minecraft which are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And this week's seed is a Minecraft console edition seed, so if you play a Minecraft console version which has edition in the name, just like this, then you'll get a seed if you use the classic world size with the small biomes, which is, in my opinion, quite frankly amazing. Every single time an update is about to come out, I like to type in the name of the seed into the world and see what's going on with it, and this time I found one which I thought was just top notch. It has a really great varied mix of biomes, which is like, you know, great by itself. Like, finding good mix of biomes is something everyone likes in a seed, it's something everyone wants in a seed, and by itself that makes the seed worthwhile and usable. However, it then also has one of the strangest mesa biomes I've ever seen, with a witch's hut right next to it, with a bunch of caves for so much gold, allowing you to explore those new beacon changes coming in the next update. It also has an ocean monument, so you can actually get some sponges, and a bunch of other just weird tiny things I noticed as I went around that made me go, this is a great seed, and it's one I wanted to share with you in today's video. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully you all do enjoy. Give the video a like if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and let's know you do like this week's seed, which, like I said, I type in the name of an update every time. So this week's seed is TU67. If you type in TU67, the next update, if you just type in that simple phrase, then you'll get a seed like this, which will incidentally be great for TU67, because like I said, it's got a bunch of ocean features, which will be changing after the update, and if you're playing PlayStation 4, you can also expand your world after the update to take advantage of even more ocean stuff. So with that said, if you type in TU67, then you'll spawn right over here, and yeah, the interesting thing about the spawn is the fact that it is right in a plains biome. Always a good thing, because of the fact that you can go straight to, you know, getting some animals, you can get yourself one of the few trees which are lying around here, and then you can also go pretty much any direction and get something entirely different. So as you can see, right from spawn, you can already see there's an extreme hill biome, there's also a jungle biome just over the distance there, there's a spruce tiger biome just over there, there's a forest, there's a river, there's a roof forest over here, and then there's a birch forest over here. You've got basically all the tree choices, all the biome choices, and the best thing is that you can actually go through the birch forest, through the roof forest, and you can end up at the first Minecraft village. So this is the only village on the seed, and honestly, although it's a good enough village, it's great that it exists because it gives you access to villagers in case you want nitwits to breed with or something like that. Then the wonderful thing about it though is the fact that it's a really weird village because it goes through the woods like this. Like seriously, it's like a roof forest village in some ways. Like it's very rare you get to see like a pathway going right through your village, but that's what we have going on right here. Oh look, you can actually even see through the gap on the floor here. So yeah, interesting enough. I would say an interesting enough village just because of the way that it spawned. Like, it's not often you get to see stuff like this. It's also a great opportunity to get yourself free food. In this case, some free wheat, some free carrots, some free potatoes, all the good free stuff. There's free planters over here, so that's wonderful. And then, like I said, later you can expand it into a bigger village, or you can look at how it is right now and say, that's good enough for me. Whichever way you want to take things, it's great, it's wonderful. And it's also only a little bit south of the big thing I'd recommend, which is the very strange mesa. So if you head north to that mesa, you'll head for another plains biome, which in my opinion, this is the perfect place to set up a house, because again, I always recommend flat plains biomes because they're really easy to build on top of. There's very little flattening required. Like, you know, you can remove this if you want to have more space, but it's basically a huge area you can build a house on fairly easily. It comes with a pre-built-on cave. It has some great views off the very strange mesa, which we're going to talk about next, and it's just a nice surrounded foresty area. Again, I love this area as a place to build a house. It's perfect Minecraft real estate, if you will, and yeah, it's something I want to kind of mention right here before we move on to one of the key features in this seed, which is the mesa biome found here. So this mesa biome is one of the weirdest and kind of most messed up mesa biomes I've ever seen for Minecraft console. Minecraft console edition has really tiny mesa biomes on average. Usually if you have a mesa in your world, it's going to look something like this one right here, where it's like a tiny hill and like a little bit of flat land, or it's going to be like just all elevated, like all plateau. However, this one has some like non-plateau, you know, some flat lands next to the plateau. So you actually get something which is a very rare Minecraft console experience, where you can actually see the huge mountains in front of you. And again, seeing mesa mountains or mesa, you know, like plateau areas is really quite a fascinating thing. Also, it's quite great that you can actually just kind of dive through them because there are caves going right across. So if you've ever wanted to see like just into one of these places, dive right underground, you can totally do that. And the wonderful thing about all of these caves, because I'm going to show you some of the caves right now, because exploring these was one of the most fun things I spent some time doing yesterday in creative. Like just looking around this seed, looking around these caves, it's just gold after gold after gold. It's an interesting enough cave system, but the fact that every time you explore it, pretty much every branch comes with a new vein of gold. So here's a vein of gold, oh, down there's a vein of gold, up there's a vein of gold, up there is. Like, honestly, if you haven't ever explored Mesa Caves, and most people haven't because they're so rare in Minecraft console, it's just one of the best things because you get so much gold ore. And given, like I said, there are some beacon changes coming in the next update. I'll focus on them in a like smaller changes video at some point in the future, but there are beacon changes. You might want to take advantage of them, and because of that, again, like you can see, there's just gold, 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 gold everywhere you look, because in Mesa biomes, gold spawns more frequently than it otherwise does. It's not just the weirdest freak of nature, it is just the fact that Mesa biomes have more gold, but you usually can't take advantage of it because there aren't many caves, but because this cave system goes everywhere, just all the time, all the different places, you can get lots and lots and lots of gold to take advantage of brand new beacon changes, like I've said twice already. How about we say it a third time just for fun? You know, lots of gold in this seed, take advantage of those new beacon changes, lots of gold in this seed, take advantage of those new beacon changes. You have to do it, and this is the best way to kind of prepare for TU67, because again, it's coming pretty soon in the next month or so, we imagine, and because of that, you want to get ready for it. So, like I also mentioned, there is a witch's hut, which is literally adjacent to this biome, which again, in my opinion, is crazy, because the witch's hut is in the smallest like part of the swamp I've ever seen. Like, it's literally like one tree, then there's some mini desert, or like, I don't know what this is, like, it looks like a desert to me, and then there's some mesa. Again, just the size of these biomes is really weird. In fact, actually, speaking of the size of these biomes, I think something about this mesa biome must be broken in some way, because it's surrounded by this regular sand on all sides. There is a desert literally perfectly surrounding this mesa biome, and it makes me think that the way Minecraft console edition biomes generate to make them so small and compact is it seems like they generated over each other, because this definitely is a desert. You can see there's a desert well right here, a 1 in 1,000 spawn chance, by the way. Like, no one cares about them, but they are rare, so if you like rarity, guess what, you got it here. But the fact that this entire mesa biome, every single part of it, is surrounded by a desert, to me just seems really quite bizarre. Again, maybe you don't care, but it is a very strange thing that kind of tells us more about the Minecraft console edition world generator, and at the very least, it's just a cool thing to look at. Next up, by the way, this is like vaguely like a heart pool. I'm just saying, you could change it a little bit and, I don't know, show your significant other you love them via Minecraft ponds. But no, let's go back to where we were before, just over here, because one of the other amazing things about this mesa biome is the fact that through some of these caves, because you can find caves pretty much all over the place. Like, if you look any significant distance and into the mesa biome, you'll eventually just find yourself in the cave. It seems to be the natural order of things. Actually, in this case, I didn't end up in one. But yeah, there's just caves all over the place, and in particular, there was a cave that I noticed around here that actually leads straight into a mob spawn. It seems like I've actually lost the way into it, which is either a really depressing thing in terms of like it means it's a big enough maze where I can get lost, or it just means that or it means that it's just that kind of bad like that. But yeah, there's lots of ways in and out of the mesa, and all of them contain lots and lots of gold. Again, just going back over here, you can see the same one, and there was one over here which I have entirely lost now, which also gives you access to the same magical, there's a mob spawner found through it, which is wonderful in my opinion. So yeah, that's a thing you can find around here. Sadly, the one thing I couldn't find, because I spent a lot of time looking around these caves, like, okay, gonna dig through every single one of them. Can we find a Mason mineshaft? Sadly, there is no Mason mineshafts. They are an incredibly rare thing, and I'd love to show one off in the future. But right now, yeah, you just have to kind of bear in mind that there's a lot of caves to explore. There's a abandoned mineshaft, there's a mob spawner found right in the dungeon. There's all these different things you can find pretty easily in here. Oh, here it is, finally. Okay, so just in case you can't find this either, because it is very well hidden, it's right below some sand, and if you punch one of the sand bits, it'll all fall down in a very chain reaction-y way, or I guess 5 bits of it will. But if you head down to these coordinates, and then you head down the cave, and then you take a left over here, and then you take a right over here, you can find yourself at this mob spawner. And the reason I wanted to show off this mob spawner is because to me, this really shows me that it's an updated aquatic seed, because guess what? There's a mob spawner found just over here, so it's great that you can get one so easily, but it has one chest, and in that chest there's one enchanted book, and you know what that one enchanted book is? It's Aqua Affinity. So yeah, that's how you know this is an aquatic seed, because it's got Aqua Affinity literally in one of the chests. So yeah, if that's not coincidence enough, you know, if you're one of those people that believes in faith, you believe it, or fate, not faith. I mean, faith and fate are kind of related, but if you believe in fate and you think that's good enough reason, then boom, this seed has got fate written all over it. But in case you don't like fate, you just like weird, quirky things, let me show you some of those, because yeah, heading back to the southeast, like back towards our first village, and back towards my ideal recommended home location, by the way, you'll find yourself some extreme mountains, or just mountains as they're known as of the aquatic update, and on this mountain you'll find bizarrely just one fallen birch tree. So I don't know what this is doing here, don't know how this happened, don't know if this is meant to happen, because again, the birch forest is like all the way down here and there are no trees up here, but it seems like the Minecraft world generator allows fallen birch trees to spawn on top of hills, so that's kind of wacky. And also, we have a frozen mushroom not too far from here as well, which again, it's just, there's a lot of just weird, quirky stuff where it's like, you know, I'm interested in the fact that this exists. I think it's over here, just north of the biome right here. So, also, just north of the biome right here, in my opinion, is the fact, not in my opinion, I guess, objectively speaking, I should say. By the way, look at this, single snow block, just surrounded by nothing else. Yeah, there's a lot of bizarrities like this. But yeah, let's go to the last thing that I wanted to show off today with the Seed Sunday, because just over here, you can see there is, in fact, an ocean monument. And ocean monuments are something that, you know, like, I feel like people got bored of them a little bit, like, after a while, like, oh, what are you going to do with them, this, that. But ocean monuments are getting harder because of the new water changes, and they're also getting more rewarding because, one, there's gold in there, because, you know, let's say you got all the gold from the mesa, and you're like, I'm just a little bit short, then you can mine through here, or you can't really, because it's going to be tricky, but you can go through the monument, and you can find yourself 8 bits of gold. I mean, this is one of my favorite tips that people don't always know, but inside this area right here, there's always 8 blocks of gold. That's wonderful, but also there are sponges found inside of this, and you know, like right up here actually, sponges are going to be essential for a lot of aquatic builds. If you want to have no water inside your underwater build, if you want to drain an ocean, if you want to drain anything, then you're going to need some sponges, and this seed gladly has them. One of the things people complained about with the last week's seed, the aquatic update seed, is like, this is great, this is wonderful, but if you want to drain stuff, you couldn't. And this, I figured that's why I'd correct it. This week, we have a TU67 seed with sponges, so you're all ready for that. Also, something about the way the underbelly of this thing works is quite interesting in my opinion, because as you can see, it's like barely atop the floor here, but it's also hugely atop the floor over here, so again, maybe you can do something like where you drain the bottom of the ocean monument. I'm not you. I'm not sure. I'm not you. I'm not your dad. I can't tell you what to do. I can just tell you, I think this is interesting, and I think this might go somewhere, though. So yeah, this seed has a lot of great things. I'll show you around the rest of it very briefly, because, like I said, it's just a really good amount of biome diversity. If you use small biomes, which is the default, and if you use a classic-sized world, you'll get a really good world to start with, which you can then expand later. And I'm actually considering making, like, a whole video explaining what is the way to get the best, objectively speaking, in my opinion, Minecraft world of the best variety, because I think my Let's Play world, which has been slowly built over the last 6 years, is actually one of the, you know, like, best examples of a Minecraft world because of how much stuff it has. People always ask me for the seed, so I'm considering making a video showing that even in 2018, if you have PlayStation 4 edition, or if you have, even better, an Xbox One edition or a Switch edition, by the way, another fallen trip here, but yeah, if you have one of those editions, I want to show off just how great it can be, and maybe also do a little project where we build, like, a bridge from one part to the other. So let me know if you want to see that in the comments down below, maybe as next week's, or a couple of weeks from now, Seed Sunday. Use those comment things down below to say words and stuff. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless. Like I said, it's quite a great one. It's got a really great amount of diversity. It's got so much gold, and honestly, I'm going to recommend this 2 thumbs out of 2. That's the highest rating you can get in terms of thumbs up. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like it if you liked it, share if you really liked it. Let me know if you want to see more seeds like this with both of those things, or a subscription with notifications turned on. Hit that bell, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.